Have you ever felt as though the world around you was just a thin veil, barely concealing a deeper, more profound reality? A moment when the ordinary suddenly shimmers with hidden meaning, and you sense an invisible thread connecting all things. This isn't just a fleeting thought, it could be the beginning of something far greater. Today, we're unraveling one of the most mysterious and transformative experiences known to humanity: spiritual awakening. Contrary to popular belief, a spiritual awakening isn't always a peaceful, blissful revelation. In fact, it often feels like the ground beneath your feet has crumbled, leaving you standing in the raw, unfiltered presence of truth. It can be disorienting, even painful, like being ripped from a comfortable dream into the harsh, bright light of reality. But within that discomfort lies the seed of profound transformation. Across cultures and eras, mystics, sages, and seekers have described this phenomenon in remarkably similar ways. As an inner earthquake that shatters illusions, breaks down egoic walls, and exposes the timeless essence of who we truly are. From the dark nights of the soul experienced by Christian mystics to the sudden enlightenment of Zen monks, spiritual awakenings have been both feared and revered. In this video, we will dive deep into what really happens during a spiritual awakening. We'll explore the ancient wisdom that frames this experience, the signs and stages of awakening, the emotional and psychological shifts that often occur, and most importantly, how to navigate this sacred journey without losing yourself in the process. If you've ever felt like something within you is stirring, like you're being called to remember something you've forgotten, stay with me. The path of awakening isn't just for monks on mountaintops. It's happening all around us, in the chaos of everyday life, quietly waiting for us to notice. Are you ready to peer behind the veil? To understand the depths of a spiritual awakening, we must first journey back through time, across ancient civilizations, sacred texts, and the whispered teachings of mystics who have sought to unveil the hidden nature of existence. Spiritual awakening is not a new phenomenon. It is as old as human consciousness itself, etched into the sacred scrolls of every culture, language, and tradition. In ancient India, the concept of moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, is central to Hindu philosophy. The Upanishads, some of the oldest spiritual texts known to humanity, describe awakening as the realization of Brahman, the ultimate formless reality beyond the material world. It is a profound recognition that the self, Atman, is not separate but one with the cosmos. This is not just knowledge, it's an experiential shift, like remembering something you've always known but somehow forgot. The Buddha's enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree is perhaps one of the most iconic depictions of spiritual awakening. After years of extreme asceticism and meditation, Siddhartha Gautama transcended the illusion of self and saw through the fabric of existence to the nature of suffering and its cessation. But his awakening wasn't marked by divine fireworks. It was a quiet, piercing clarity, like the morning sun dispelling the mist. In Christian mysticism, figures like St. John of the Cross spoke of the dark night of the soul, a period of intense spiritual desolation that often precedes awakening. This darkness isn't punishment but purification, a dismantling of false attachments, clearing the way for divine union. Similarly, in Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam, poets like Rumi and Al-Ghazali wrote of awakening as an ecstatic annihilation of the self, fana, dissolving into the ocean of divine love. Even in ancient Greece, philosophers like Plato explored this theme through allegory. In his allegory of the cave, he describes prisoners chained in darkness, mistaking shadows for reality. Awakening, in this context, is the painful process of turning toward the light, climbing out of the cave, and seeing the world as it truly is, a metaphor that resonates with the disorienting clarity many experience during spiritual shifts. Despite their cultural differences, these teachings converge on one truth. Awakening is not about gaining something new, it's about stripping away illusions. It is the great unlearning, a return to the raw, unadulterated essence of existence. It often begins with a sense of dissatisfaction, a quiet, persistent feeling that there must be more to life than the roles we play and the identities we wear. What's fascinating is that even in modern times, people with no exposure to these ancient teachings report remarkably similar experiences. Whether triggered by meditation, trauma, loss, or spontaneous insight, the core elements remain the same: a collapse of the false self and a glimpse into something boundless, timeless, and ineffably real. As we move into the core explanation, we'll explore what exactly happens during this transformative process, both the beauty and the chaos that accompany it. So, what really happens during a spiritual awakening? To the untrained eye, it might appear as a sudden transformation, a moment of epiphany. But in truth, it's a process, a profound unraveling, like peeling back layers of an onion to reveal the core that has always been there, hidden beneath. At the heart of a spiritual awakening lies a shift in perception. Imagine living your entire life believing you're looking at the world through a clear window, only to realize one day that the glass was tinted all along. This realization doesn't change the world itself, it changes how you see it. The colors seem brighter, the connections deeper, and the boundaries that once seemed so solid begin to dissolve. The first stage often begins with disruption. This isn't always a gentle nudge, it can feel like the ground beneath your feet has vanished. Life events, such as a personal loss, a crisis, or an overwhelming sense of dissatisfaction can trigger this. These moments act as catalysts, breaking the illusion of control and forcing us to confront deeper questions. Who am I beyond my job, my relationships, my achievements? What is the purpose of my existence? As the false constructs of identity begin to crumble, you enter a phase known as ego dissolution. The ego, the collection of thoughts, roles, and labels we cling to, is not inherently bad. It helps us navigate the world. But during awakening, the ego's illusion of permanence starts to fade. This can be disorienting, even terrifying, because it feels like losing yourself. But in reality, it's not the true you that's fading. It's the mask. This stage is often marked by intense emotions, fear, confusion, even grief. It's like standing in front of a mirror that suddenly reflects not just your face, but your soul, raw, unfiltered, and undeniable. You might question everything you once believed, feel disconnected from people and activities that once brought joy, or experience a profound sense of emptiness. This emptiness, however, isn't a void. It's space where truth can finally emerge. Then comes the awakening of awareness. It's as if a veil has lifted. You begin to experience life not as a separate individual moving through the world, but as an inseparable part of it. The boundaries between self and other blur. You might feel a deep connection to nature, sensing the pulse of life in every leaf, every breath, every star. Time may feel less linear, and moments of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences, become more frequent, as if the universe is whispering directly to you. But here's the paradox. While awakening reveals profound truths, it doesn't necessarily make life easier. In fact, it often complicates things. You see through the illusions of society, materialism, superficial success, the constant chase for validation, and this can create a sense of alienation. It's like waking up in a dream where everyone else is still asleep. However, this isn't the end. It's just the beginning. Awakening isn't a destination, it's an invitation. An invitation to live differently, to embody the truths you've glimpsed, even when the world around you hasn't changed. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into the nuances of this process, exploring the dark nights, the mystical experiences, and the profound shifts that often follow this initial awakening. As the initial surge of realization settles, the spiritual awakening journey often leads into what mystics and sages refer to as the dark night of the soul. This phase is not a sign of failure or regression. Rather, it is a sacred, necessary descent, a spiritual crucible where the remnants of the false self are burned away to reveal the essence of one's being. The dark night of the soul is marked by profound existential despair. Imagine walking through a dense fog where familiar landmarks have vanished. The beliefs, identities, and comforts that once anchored you no longer hold meaning. This is not depression in the clinical sense. It's a deep spiritual emptiness, a feeling of disconnection from everything you once knew, even from the divine. Paradoxically, this emptiness is fertile ground. It's the space where the ego's illusions are dismantled, making room for authentic connection with your higher self. During this phase, one may ask, where is the light I was promised? But the wisdom here lies in understanding that the darkness isn't the absence of light. It's the recognition that the light you seek was never outside of you. The darkness forces you inward, compelling you to find that inner flame that no external circumstance can extinguish. Emerging from this spiritual abyss often leads to experiences of mystical awareness. These are moments when the veil between the ordinary and the divine becomes almost transparent. You might experience a sense of unity consciousness, where the boundaries between self and other, subject and object, dissolve entirely. The Sufis call this fana, the annihilation of the self in the divine. In these moments, love isn't just an emotion, it's the very fabric of existence. Another hallmark of this stage is the development of heightened sensitivity, not just emotionally but energetically. You become attuned to subtle shifts in energy, the unspoken emotions of others, the vibrational quality of environments. While this sensitivity can feel overwhelming at first, it's also a profound gift, allowing you to navigate life with a deeper sense of intuition and alignment. However, awakening doesn't grant immunity from life's challenges. Pain, loss, and difficulties still arise. The difference is in your relationship to them. Instead of resisting or being consumed by suffering, you begin to see it as part of the divine dance, an opportunity for growth and deeper understanding. You no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" but rather, "What is this teaching me?" This leads to the phase of integration. It's one thing to have mystical insights, it's another to embody them. Integration is where spiritual awakening moves from fleeting experiences to a grounded way of living. It's not about retreating from the world, but engaging with it from a place of authenticity, compassion, and presence. You might find that your values shift. Material success loses its allure, replaced by a desire for purpose, connection, and service. Relationships may transform or fall away as you align more closely with your truth. There's often a natural gravitation towards simplicity, less noise, less clutter, more meaning. Importantly, spiritual awakening is not linear. It's cyclical, like the phases of the moon or the changing seasons. Moments of clarity may be followed by confusion. Periods of peace may give way to turmoil. But with each cycle, you spiral deeper into your true self, uncovering layers of wisdom and resilience. Ultimately, spiritual awakening is less about acquiring something new and more about remembering what was always there. It's the realization that you are not separate from life, from the universe, from the divine. You are an expression of it. Not a drop in the ocean, but the ocean in a drop. In the next section, we'll explore practical ways to navigate this journey, tools and practices to support you through both the luminous and shadowed phases of awakening. While spiritual awakening is often described as a mystical or transcendent experience, it's ultimately about how we live our daily lives. Awakening is not an escape from reality. It's an invitation to engage with it more deeply, more authentically, and with greater awareness. Here are practical tools and practices to help navigate this sacred journey, grounding the profound insights into everyday life. 1. Mindful awareness, the art of witnessing. The foundation of spiritual awakening is cultivating the ability to observe without judgment. This practice, often called witness consciousness, allows you to step back from the constant chatter of the mind and recognize that you are not your thoughts, emotions, or even your body. You are the awareness in which all these experiences arise. Practice. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes daily to sit quietly. Focus on your breath without trying to control it. When thoughts arise, and they will, simply notice them as if you were watching clouds pass in the sky. Label them gently, thinking, worrying, planning, then return to your breath. Over time, this simple practice strengthens your ability to remain present amidst life's turbulence. 2. Shadow work, embracing the darkness. Awakening isn't about chasing perpetual bliss. True growth comes from integrating the parts of ourselves we've disowned, the fears, traumas, and hidden emotions that we suppress. This is known as shadow work, a process popularized by psychologist Carl Jung, but rooted in ancient spiritual traditions. Practice. Reflect on emotional triggers. When something or someone provokes a strong reaction in you, instead of blaming external circumstances, ask, "What is this revealing about me?" Journal your thoughts. Dive into the discomfort. What unmet needs, wounds, or beliefs are being activated? By bringing unconscious material to light, you dissolve its power over you. 3. Cultivating sacred stillness, meditation, and breath work. While meditation is often associated with quieting the mind, it's more about creating space to connect with your deeper self. Regular practice helps anchor the expansive states of consciousness experienced during awakening. Practice. Experiment with different meditation techniques. Focused attention. Concentrate on a mantra, candle flame, or the rhythm of your breath. Loving kindness, metta. Silently repeat phrases of goodwill. May I be happy. May I be at peace. May others be free from suffering. Conscious breath work. Use intentional breathing patterns, like the 4-7-8 technique, to regulate your nervous system, inducing calm and clarity. 4th embodiment practices. Grounding the energy. Spiritual awakening can sometimes feel disorienting, especially when experiencing heightened sensitivity or energy shifts. Grounding practices help anchor your awareness in the present moment, balancing the ethereal with the physical. Practice. Nature connection. Spend time barefoot on the earth, grass, sand, soil. Nature's frequencies recalibrate our energy. Movement. Yoga, Tai Chi, or even mindful walking can harmonize the body-mind connection. Focus on the sensations of movement, breath, and balance. Body scanning. Lie down, close your eyes, and mentally scan your body from head to toe, observing sensations without judgment. This fosters a sense of rootedness, the power of inquiry, questioning reality. Much of spiritual awakening involves dismantling conditioned beliefs. Practices like self-inquiry, inspired by sages like Ramana Maharshi, help pierce through the illusions of the ego. Practice. When faced with strong emotions, ask simple yet profound questions. Who is experiencing this feeling? Is this thought absolutely true? What am I without this story? By persistently questioning, you uncover the impermanence of thoughts and the timeless presence beneath them. 6th spiritual community, satsang. The mirror of others. The journey of awakening, while deeply personal, isn't meant to be walked alone. Engaging with a spiritual community, whether through formal groups, trusted mentors, or like-minded friends, offers support, reflection, and shared wisdom. Practice. Seek spaces where authentic dialogue about consciousness and personal growth can unfold. This could be a meditation circle, a book club on spiritual texts, or online forums dedicated to self-inquiry. The resonance of shared experiences can accelerate your own understanding. 7. Rituals and symbolism. Anchoring the sacred in daily life. Rituals create a bridge between the mundane and the sacred, reminding us that every moment can be infused with meaning. These don't have to be elaborate. Simple acts performed with intention hold transformative power. Practice. Light a candle each morning as a symbol of your inner light. Create a small altar with objects that inspire you, stones, sacred texts, personal symbols. End the day with gratitude, reflecting on lessons learned no matter how small. Navigating challenges. Spiritual awakening isn't always smooth. Periods of confusion, loneliness, or even existential dread are common. When these arise, be gentle with yourself. The process is unfolding as it should. Avoid spiritual bypassing. Don't suppress difficult emotions in the name of staying positive. Authentic growth requires facing discomfort. Remember, it's cyclical. Awakening isn't a destination, but a continuous unfolding. Trust the process. Spiritual awakening is not a single, grand event, but a continuous, unfolding journey, an eternal dance between the known and the unknown, the self and the infinite. It is both a revelation and a return, a remembering of something ancient and sacred that was never truly lost, only hidden beneath the layers of everyday existence. Throughout this exploration, we've peeled back the veil on what truly happens during a spiritual awakening. We've navigated the mystical signs, the historical echoes from ancient traditions, and the deep internal shifts that ripple through one's mind, heart, and soul. We've discovered that awakening is not about escaping life, but fully inhabiting it. Seeing with new eyes, feeling with an open heart, and thinking with clarity unclouded by illusion. The discomfort, the ego dissolutions, the dark nights of the soul. These are not signs of failure, but sacred rites of passage. They are the fires that burn away what no longer serves, forging a new self from the ashes of the old. Like the mythical phoenix, the awakened soul rises, not in perfection, but in authenticity. As you walk your own path, remember this: you are not alone. The journey of awakening has been walked by countless souls before you, and though each path is unique, the essence is universal. Trust the process. Even when it feels chaotic, the unraveling is often the very thing making space for your true self to emerge. Stay curious. Awakening isn't about having all the answers. It's about falling in love with the questions. So I leave you with a thought to ponder. What if the very discomfort you're trying to escape is the key to your awakening? Reflect on this. Sit with it. Let it stir something ancient within you. If this journey resonated with you, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Have you experienced moments of awakening? What did it feel like? Your story might be the beacon someone else needs, and if you're hungry for more explorations into the mysteries of existence, don't forget to subscribe. Together, we'll continue to peel back the layers, one sacred truth at a time. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep awakening.